Have you ever paused in your day-to-day life and wondered, what is the meaning of all this? It's a question that echoes in the hush of our quietest moments, a universal query that unites us in our shared quest for understanding. This search for meaning, for purpose, is an inherent part of the human experience. It's a journey that takes us beyond the physical world, beyond the tangible, and into the realm of thoughts, feelings, and self-reflection. This is where we encounter existential philosophy. It's a school of thought that doesn't shy away from the big questions, but rather embraces them. It urges us to consider our individual existence, our freedom, and our choices. It compels us to face the reality of our autonomy and the immense responsibility that comes with it. So when we ask about the meaning of life, we venture into the realm of existential philosophy. Existentialism, a term many of us have heard, but what does it really mean? Let's delve into it. Existentialism is a branch of philosophy that emphasizes the individual, the subjective, and the experience of free will. It's a perspective that places you, the individual, at the heart of the philosophical journey. It argues that each of us, as individuals, is unique and ultimately responsible for defining our own essence through our actions and experiences. This philosophy isn't about finding objective truths or universal moral codes. Instead, existentialism proposes that we create our own values and determine a meaning to our life without the need for a higher power or societal norms. It's about personal freedom and the courage to create one's own path. Now let's consider some of the key figures in existentialist philosophy. First, there's Søren Kierkegaard, often considered the father of existentialism. He argued that subjective human experiences and personal choice are paramount in shaping our identities. For Kierkegaard, faith and personal commitment were crucial in leading a meaningful life. Next, there's Friedrich Nietzsche, who shook the foundations of traditional morality. Nietzsche proposed that since there are no universal truths, humans are free to create their own values. He coined the term Übermensch, or overman, to describe an individual who has created his own values and lives life with passion and intensity. And then there's Jean-Paul Sartre, who said, "Existence precedes essence." This means that we exist first, and only later do we define ourselves through our actions and choices. For Sartre, we are condemned to be free, because once thrown into the world, we are responsible for everything we do. So what's the takeaway here? Existentialism is a celebration of individualism. It's a philosophy that challenges us to confront the hard questions of freedom, meaning, and responsibility. It encourages us to take the reins of our own lives, to embrace the uncertainty, and to find our own way. Existentialism, then, is a philosophy that encourages us to forge our own paths and create our own meaning. If existentialism is about creating our own meaning, then nihilism is its darker cousin. Nihilism, derived from the Latin word nihil, meaning nothing, is a philosophical belief that life lacks inherent meaning or value. It's like gazing into an endless void, a vast expanse where all notions of purpose and significance dissipate into nothingness. This perspective can lead to a profound existential dread or despair. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, peering into the abyss, and realizing that everything we've ever known, loved, or believed in might amount to nothing more than a fleeting illusion. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? One of the most influential proponents of nihilism was the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. He famously declared, "God is dead." But what did he mean by this? Nietzsche wasn't talking about a literal death. Instead, he was suggesting that the traditional moral values anchored in religious belief were no longer credible in the modern world. This proclamation has profound implications for nihilism. If there's no divine authority to define what's right and wrong, good and evil, then moral values become subjective, relative, and ultimately meaningless. This notion is known as moral relativism, a close relative of nihilism. But nihilism is not necessarily about despair. Some philosophers have suggested that recognizing the potential meaninglessness of life can liberate us from the constraints of traditional values and norms. It can free us to create our own meaning, to forge our own path in the face of an indifferent universe. Still, nihilism presents a challenging and unsettling perspective. It forces us to confront the possibility that our deepest beliefs and values might be based on nothing more than cultural or personal biases. It compels us to question the very foundation of our existence. Nihilism confronts us with the daunting possibility of a universe devoid of inherent meaning. It invites us to stare into the void and to grapple with the profound uncertainty that comes with our existence. Yet, amidst the existential angst and nihilistic despair, there's absurdism, suggesting a third way. Absurdism, an intriguing philosophical idea, was notably proposed by Albert Camus, the French philosopher and author. This concept delves into the absurd condition, a situation that arises when humans, innately driven to find meaning and purpose, are faced with a universe that is indifferent and devoid of any inherent meaning. This clash, this confrontation, is what Camus identifies as the absurd. Camus' works paint a picture of the absurd man, one who recognizes the absurdity of his situation and yet continues to search for meaning. He likens this to Sisyphus, a figure from Greek mythology, condemned to eternally roll a boulder up a hill, only for it to fall back down each time he reaches the top. Sisyphus, in Camus' view, is the epitome of an absurd hero, who, despite the futility of his task, finds satisfaction in it. Similarly, we, in our absurd existence, can find personal meaning in life, not by denying the absurd, but by acknowledging it. We are all Sisyphus, pushing our boulders, living our lives, striving for something, even when the universe doesn't provide an overarching narrative or purpose. This idea of embracing the absurd, as Camus suggests, leads us to live without appeal. To live without appeal is to accept that life, stripped of higher meanings or divine purpose, is still worth living. It's about creating our own purpose, our own meaning, in spite of the universe's indifference. For Camus, the search for meaning, the struggle itself towards the heights, is enough to fill a man's heart. It's not about finding the ultimate answer, but about the journey and the resilience in the face of absurdity. It's about embracing the freedom that comes with acknowledging the absurd, and using that freedom to shape our own existence. Absurdism, therefore, offers a way to find personal meaning in an otherwise indifferent universe. It asks of us not to surrender in the face of the absurd, but to revolt, to live, to create our own meaning, and to embrace the beauty of the struggle itself. So why bother with these complex philosophical concepts? What's the point, you might ask? Well, existential philosophy provides us with a unique lens to delve into the profound questions of meaning, purpose, and identity. It's like a compass in the vast ocean of our existence, guiding us amid the ebb and flow of life's uncertainties. By grappling with concepts like existentialism, nihilism, and absurdism, we open ourselves to introspection, reflection, and ultimately, personal growth. It's through this philosophical exploration that we can grasp the reins of our autonomy, our free will, and our personal responsibility, shaping our existence in ways we see fit. Furthermore, existential philosophy encourages us to consider ethical implications, fostering a deeper understanding of the human condition. It prompts us to question the existence of objective truths and to seek meaning in a seemingly indifferent universe. In grappling with existential philosophy, we are, in essence, grappling with ourselves, our place in the universe, and the very nature of our existence.